Hello folks, and coming live with the Ford Taurus video. It's really cold out here. Just wanted to do a quick dick of the Ford Taurus 3.0 dual overhead dual cam overhead. That's the model of my car. So I got the trunk and everything opened up and everything. Well, not yet, but I just gotta pull it up. Those hinges are starting to go bad now. But this is the 3.0 cam dual overhead 3.0 1999 Ford Taurus SE. I know about this model, but all the other ones I don't know much about. But this model I do. It is the 3.0. I'm gonna give a good shout out to my neighbor. Just got his Chevy over there fixed. The plastic overhead broke. This is what went out on his Chevy. It broke. It was a plastic instead of a stainless steel one like mine, or heavier. Yeah. Do a little walk around the vehicle. I gotta do a little start the vehicle on these Ford Tauruses in the wintertime. If you don't start these things up, the door's freeze shut. And it's not good on these parts. They go bad when you don't start your car. I do have a spare key, so I locked this key in the car. Got my spare key on me right now. Always carry a second guy with me. For safety purposes only. Semi-drivers do it too. They have their spare key, so they don't shut the diesel off. A little sticky there. I always carry my spare keys with me. Okay, I'll lock. Got loud, a little bit of whining, but that is because the pump is warming up. And traction pumps are louder on the Ford Tauruses. But it's always good to start these things up. Trying to hear what that squeak is. That power steering pump's got a squeaky pulley. Usually idles pretty high for being a V6. Comes the Amtrak. See how it's kind of running around pretty good. Do my little check between that, make sure the belt ain't tearing or nothing. This is just a new belt. Charging that alternator. Well, I do that. I also go around and inspect the vehicle system is locked. When I do this, make sure nobody jumps into the vehicle and takes off with my car. That is a seriously bad Cadillac converter. What that does in the wintertime with that exhaust leak, this can get pretty bad. It can get really white when somebody's driving behind me. That's because a head gasket needs to be cleaned. It won't damage the vehicle, it just make it dangerous for other vehicles behind me, because when I step on it and go 70 miles an hour down the interstate, all you see is a big puffy cloud of smoke. It can be kind of dangerous, and I could get stopped and get written up for a emissions problem. This is what California gets on to people about. Old cars used to not have that, but it's cold out here and you should not see it this bad. It could be the exhaust could be going bad, or a bad head. Back to the front of the engine again. Cold day. On this previous model, oh, try not to lean on that. Don't want to break that now. The starter is right down here. On most cars, it's underneath there. Most cars, the starter's over here. This starter is in a good spot. It's right up high, right between the engine halfway. So yeah, that's why I'm having any problems with the starter, because most starters are right next to the oil panel, which is a bad place for a starter on newer cars, and that's what makes the car not want to start properly. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and turn her off. Grab my spare key. Truckers and everybody do this. They want to keep their trucks going. My uncle used to do it in his Peterbilt. He would do it like I'm doing. Keep the spare key out. When he would go in and get like a steak at a restaurant, he'd keep the key in the ignition always, but lock all the doors. And then Peterbilts, you can't break the windows as easy. They're heavy duty, I think heavy duty bullet resistance. That means it's hard to shoot it. The glass is more tougher, so you can't just shoot the truck and steal the person's truck. So that's why they made them heavy duty. I love this car. It's a really good car. Always inspect that belt. One way you can tell if you have a bad tensioner is the belt wouldn't have any slack to it. You should be able to turn it about 1, 2, 3. 3 means it's good. If you go to like 5, 6, that means you had a bad tensioner. Always go back the other way and check it too. It's kind of hard to see on camera. 1, 2, 3. So I can only get to 3. You get to like 6, that means your tensioner needs tightened up or replaced. In this Taurus, it's a manual tensioner, so you have to go out here and do it yourself. On most newer cars, it's automatic. When the belt gets loose, it will tighten back up. Nice thing about the automatics is they don't go out as easy as the automatics, which the automatic tensioner costs more money than a manual. This tensioner I found in stores ain't too expensive if I need to replace it. It's only about $25.99 on Amazon right now. A manual, an automatic one for a 2019 Ford Taurus would cost you about $130 for the automatic tensioner. Yeah, they're more expensive. And I haven't had any problems with this tensioner. All it needs is to be tightened up, which I already did it, which wasn't hard. So yeah, on this car, it tells you where everything exactly is lined up and what the names of them are. You have AC, water pump. They got all and power steering and Yeah, there's all the other ones I was trying to think. Yeah. Oh, that's what that big one's down there. And then the idle crank. Different names of it on these Tauruses. Oh, yeah, I had a belt that broke on me before. Or shredded. And ripped the seams out. And power steering flew up here when this thing was overfilled. So, yeah, somebody overfilled that. It caused the belt to snap. Never get power steering fluid on there or coolant or anything. It's not good on the belt. So. Well, going back to the older Ford Tauruses. The older Ford Tauruses used to have a chain that would run against this system. Instead of a belt, it was a chain. Just like the timing chain that's in this cage. Right here's where the timing chain is located. I thought it was located back here. But inside here's where the timing chain is located. But it would be like a serpentine chain that would just operate the car. And if that breaks, it's pretty costly. So they made it easier by adding a rubber serpentine belt. And the another thing is, these belts are made out of the same material as your tires. So if your tires start to dry rot, you want to check your serpentine belt too. There could be a chance that thing could be dry rotting too. So I just both purchased these when I got the tires, which are pretty good. Same material, same rubber. I should say if it breaks, it's like it blows. And it will start to shake if it goes bad. Like your tire. So, this is my 1999 Ford Taurus SE 3.0 1999 SE Ford Taurus by Ford. Ford did make their own semi. I can't think of the name. I think it's called, but it's got a name. It's a flathead over design Ford truck. Ford is going back to them. Ford Escort. That's what it's called. The Ford Escort 18-wheeler. Ford is going back to their truck design. Like their semi design. Like that semi over there. That's the semi over there. Ford is making those. So Ford is doing a lot of stuff back to their vehicles. The camera did not zoom back. I guess I'll just have to have it up close. But Ford is going back to their all truck design. Mostly. I'm going to go ahead and end this video because this just drives me nuts because the camera is so close. For some reason when I zoom the camera, it won't go back.